Hey everybody, and we're here again at Mr. Tramps with Tall Tales from TallGamer, and today we have with us Jools.
Hey man.
Hey, how's it going, Jools?
Good man, how you doing?
So now, for those of you who don't know, if you can't tell by his shirt, he is the guy. Yes, definitely one of the guys behind Mutant Muds over at Renegade Kid, and you now. With Nintendo, you haven't done mostly Nintendo. You've done some iOS, obviously. Mutant Muds is on iOS.
Yep. We started off Nintendo with the DS back in 2007. Then moved on to 3DS. Now we've done Wii U, and then also we've done iOS and PC. Is that it? I think that's it.
Okay.
And now we're including the Vita and the PS3.
Okay.
So now we're moving on to that. So open it up.
So, with all of those different consoles, what are you using Unity or?
We're about to, but no, actually, it's our own stuff. That's what's weird at the beginning. It's funny the way, Greg and myself are the co-founder of Renegade Kid. And at the beginning, before starting the company, we were like, we want to start our own company. How do we do that? We need a programmer. And we'd heard horror stories of, when you get friends together to try and create a company, it can become challenging. Someone may drop out because they need a job, or it's fair enough. Life happens. So we're like, we need to hire a programmer. So we're kind of searching for someone, and we found this amazing guy who we're still working with today. Actually, on the internet, on forums, this amazing guy,
nice.
Bob Ives, and he single-handedly programmed the engine on the DS for Dementium, all the plugins for Macs to export it and stuff. So anyway, that's a long way of saying it's all our own proprietary stuff. On the DS, on the 3DS, on Wii U, but right now we're moving on to Unity because they've just opened it up for the Wii U,
right?
As well as everything else, of course. I guess the Wii U is the last entrance. So, but yes, we're now moving on to Unity, which is pretty awesome.
So now, okay, so you're going through all of these different consoles, and I know one of the big sales to Unity is that, hey, you push a single button and you got your game everywhere.
Just as easy as that as well,
yeah. Just a single button. Although we all know that's not true.
Right.
What are the major pitfalls that you've run into when you're going from an iOS device to a DS?
Right.
As far as user experience, what are some of the things that you have to be worried about?
From the player's perspective, you mean?
Yeah.
You mean, so if you release one game on multiple platforms, how does it affect the player? Or
how does it affect their user experience? What are some of the trappings that you've gotten into? Obviously, the first one that comes to mind is controls.
Yeah, exactly. The user input is the main thing. For us, if you're making, what's nice about when you make a game just for the DS or just for the 3DS, it's tailored for that. Every decision from the day one is all about that machine. So that's nice and easy. When you're doing multi-platform, that's gone. You can't do that anymore. So it's definitely more generalized. So it may limit the type of games that you would make, because it has to work with this, that, and the other. Yes, the 3DS, for example, even though Unity doesn't support that. But let's say the Wii U. The Wii U has the secondary screen down.
Right.
The PS3 doesn't have that. The Xbox doesn't have that. Therefore, it's going to be an afterthought. Unfortunately, if you're using Unity to do multiple platforms, one game. Are you going to devote extra special time to the Wii U's gamepad screen? That's a decision you have to make, It's something that the other machines, you're not going to spend time on doing. So a lot of times you're not going to do that, because that's extra time and money you're spending on just that one platform. And that's kind of why you're using Unity, to try and avoid that.
Now, here's a question that just actually came to mind. I don't have this on the script, though. When you're
going off the script,
off the script, all crap. It's
all over now.
Yeah, exactly. When you are, let's compare iOS to Wii U, in Mutant Muds in particular. So you have this extra gamepad, you have this extra screen, and then of course you have your big television screen. Do you ever feel as a developer designer that you're cheating me, the guy who owns the iOS, over the guy who owns the Wii U? Because they're going to get a more richer experience, or has that ever?
You mean price-wise, or?
No, not price-wise. Feature-wise.
Experience-wise.
Right? Yeah, and experiences.
Yeah.
Because the person who has the Wii U is going to be able to do more than me, or they're going to be able to have that second screen interface, and you can do some neat things there.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like, in the back of your mind when you're designing, do you have to say, oh man, I don't want the experience, or do I want the experience even richer over here, so that, hey, I'll spend money again, or is that?
Yeah, it's tough. We've been kind of weird in that way, where we started off in 3DS, we made mods in the 3DS. Sorry, we started mods in the 3DS. And we never thought it'd go beyond that. It was like, great, we're doing mods for 3DS, yay! That was fun, move on. And it actually did pretty good. So like, oh, well, maybe we could port it to a few different places. That's kind of cool. So that was never the original plan or thought. It was a very personal endeavor for us to make that game. It was just a very passionate, kind of fun thing that we wanted to do. So, but since we are now porting it around to every platform known to humans, we're like, what does that mean, right? It's kind of weird because we did it for iOS. The controls are not going to be as good on the iOS as they will be on the 3DS. It's just a fact, right? I mean, you don't physically have the buttons there, so it's not going to be quite as good. How good can we make it? I'm not sure, but we got there and we tried it and we're like, oh, not bad, pretty good. So it's definitely a thing that we have to address, but it's kind of after the fact. We're kind of almost, having to reverse engineer it and figure out how we'll now do that. And with the Wii U, we were like, well, we have two screens, so which we had on the 3DS, but we didn't really take advantage of that on the 3DS. What do we do with the Wii U now? And obviously we have off-TV play on the Wii U and on the TV. So yeah, we kind of approached it kind of backwards, I guess. We kind of came to each platform, but it gives us the opportunity to go, cool, what do we do with this device now? But yeah, it does kind of create this weird, like, if I'm a customer of a 3DS and I have mods on that, and you compare that to the iOS, you compare that to the Wii U, they are different experiences, and that's kind of weird. And I have no justification for that. we just try and, what we try and do is we try and make the best experience on each platform. Because we have approached it one at a time, rather than, we're going to do mods on everything. We go, no, we're going to do ones on 3DS. Oh, now we're going to do Wii U. Oh, now we're going to do PC. So that's kind of been nice for us and for the player, because we've literally been focusing on that one platform again, one at a time, rather than boosh all at once, where you would definitely be diluted, I think, if you did that with mods, at least, anyway. Now,
so since we've been talking about mods as well, I feel that I've always wanted to say this to you. Damn, that game is so hard.
It is pretty hard.
And it's been a while for me personally since I've played a game that makes me want to yell and scream and curse. And here I am playing this happy little guy, and I'm
and you're playing on your phone, right?
Yeah, and
so you can throw that.
Oh, it's been times, and
Yeah.
it's one of those games where you have to walk away in frustration. And are there any cheat codes? I'm gonna go ahead and ask. Are there?
You know what? The iOS one does have a cheat code.
Really?
Where you can unlock all levels and get Granny. But it doesn't save it. So if you quit out and come back, you put the cheat code in again. So it doesn't allow you to cheat the game. You know what I mean? But it's like a temporary kind of thing, a soft save. Yes, there is one. I'll let you know after.
All right.
We designed it to be tough. I mean, it was very much a personal thing. Where like, let's make a nice, tough, challenging game, because I like challenge. I mean, I won't name names, but there's a few games that came out, and I'm like, cool, it's a cool platform game, and you get it, and you play it, and you're like, it was pointless for me to play that game. I mean, it's so easy, and it holds your hand, there's no challenge. It's just a soulless experience. You play the game, it looks pretty, it sounds great, this is awesome, the controls are fine, everything's there, all the ingredients are there. The way they used them was like such a wasted opportunity, because I'm like, why did I even play that game? I could have just pressed play and gone, all right, cool. There's no point in me playing it. And it's like, so I really wanted to kind of make something that was, it demands the player's attention. You have to pay attention.
Yes.
Every step, or you will die.
Yeah.
And then beyond that, how do I get to that secret door up there in the background? Like, how do I even get to that thing? And you won't know until later. And that's kind of like a Metroid kind of inspiration, kind of like, I can come back and...
Yep.
Anyway, so that so good.
Well,
that was the point.
Yeah. Mission accomplished on that.
Yeah.
So now, so you have a definition of indie, of what being indie is, and that's always a redefined word, I think.
Right.
And yours is being in control of your own finances, unbeholden to publishers,
right,
and producing your own original content.
And by the way, when I say that, I put that in my blog, that isn't me trying to define it for other people. That's what it is for us.
Right.
That's what it means to us.
Yep.
Like, that's where we are, and now we feel independent.
Okay. Yeah. And
So I'm not trying to spread anything.
no, and
Just to reiterate.
Yeah, you gotta put that disclaimer there.
That's just what we are. Yeah.
So now with this question, it's going to be even more so. How do you feel when other indies go to Kickstarter? And then, so that's one part of the question. And then, how do you feel when more established studios go to Kickstarter? Would you still call them indie by your definition?
No, definitely. Yeah. I mean, I think what it is the team is responsible for funding the development of their game, and how they choose to do that is up to them. And if you go with a publisher, for me, what makes that different is they then become part of the process. They don't just give you a blank check and walk away, which would be awesome.
It doesn't work like that?
That would be cool. But the thing is, what changes that dynamic is suddenly now you're not independent. They have a very vested interest in where their money's going, and they will affect that. And it's more like a parent-child kind of relationship, like where they are controlling you. So you're not independent anymore, and you're not really getting to do what you want to do. So you're very much working for hire, because you're being hired by them.
Yeah.
But Kickstarter's a bit different. What input you allow from the people who backed you is up to you. And you can set that precedent from the beginning of your campaign, your Kickstarter campaign, like how much input do you want? And lots of them want that, and they want lots, and they let it in, and that's awesome. And some are like, no, we're making this, and we just need your cash to do that. And they don't want any input, maybe, I don't know. But to me, that's still independent, because you're deciding how you're going to fund that, whether it's from your own bank account or if it's actually getting a crowdfunding thing happening. So I still think that's independent, absolutely, yeah. It's the publisher thing that kind of changes the dynamic.
So now, what do you think about those big established studios coming in and maybe? So there's.
You mean like? Do you want to name names? You don't want to name names?
No, I don't need to name names because I still need people to interview. So, but
those that have been rocking for a while, they have plenty of cash.
You would think they would have plenty of cash,
they don't need it, but they're choosing to do it, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I understand. So let me say this: I get it from a marketing standpoint, right?
Right.
Hey, this is a part of our marketing campaign, going out asking for money,
for sure.
even though we don't need it.
I think, from the examples I've seen on Kickstarter, I'm not versed on everything that's happened, but some of the big ones that have happened, it seems like sometimes it's that genre, it's that game type that's very risky, and they're putting the risk. They're not putting the risk on the. I was going to say the risk on the player, but that's not true. They're putting it out there, like, do you want it? You do. Sweet, we'll make it. If you don't, all right, we'll walk away. We won't do that again. Then, So I think that's what it is. It's like they're not sure if this thing they want to do. They're not going to waste, or they're going to invest their own money into it and potentially waste it. So they'll put it out there. Do you guys want this? And if you have like 60, 50,000 people who say, "Yep, here's my money," you're like, "Sweet, we'll make it." So I think it's clever, it's smart, and it's a great marketing PR thing. It's worked really well for some of the guys for sure. So I like to think it's for those reasons rather than they just see it as a easy way to get money, for something that otherwise they could have just invested their own money in,
Okay, all right.
I like to be optimistic about that. Hopefully people are doing it for the right reasons.
Hopefully, that's So now that we're on the topic of marketing, again, also on your blog, and yes, I troll your blog all day long.
Cool.
Actually, if you want to give out the URL,
JoolsWatsham.com. Nice and simple. If you know how to spell that. I know that's not exactly an easy...
W-A-T-E-S-H-A-M.
Both of those words are... Yeah.
I actually avoided saying your last name. That's why I said, hey, we're here with Jools.
It's like watch 'em go.
Yeah, okay. Watch 'em go.
Yeah, watch 'em go.
But it has no C in it.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Stop with that.
Please support Operation Supply Drop.